This is a trick to get estimates done faster. If you find yourself coming back to the office or at home late writing up estimates, or if you find yourself sitting in the truck writing up the estimate, remember that you're really a fairly expensive person in the company to some degree. You need to be as efficient as possible. You should have somebody else, in some cases, put your estimates together for you. And so this is a trick on how to do that. The other use case here is oftentimes what happens is you go out, you measure a property, you look at a property, you make some notes, and then a day later, 2 days later, you finally get around to putting together the estimate and you've forgotten a lot of what you need to do or write or say inside that estimate. So I highly recommend getting you've got two possibilities. One, get a call-in line. There's a lot of options for this where you can call to a phone number and record a message. The second is to create a voice memo in your phone, or the third is to get a little MP3 recorder that costs like $60. So I like the first two options best because if you have an office team, then what you can do is as soon as you finish with that job and you get into your truck, you talk your estimate. And if there's something in it that you haven't quite worked out yet, you still talk out the part. So what did the client ask for? What were their selling points? What were their hot buttons? What did you say you would do? What are the services and products that need to go onto that estimate? What are the prices? You just talk it out. You look at your notes, you talk it out, and you'll get better at it as you do this a few times, and then you email that, or if you do the call-in line concept, someone on your office team can pick that up. They can prepare the whole estimate for you. So even if you've got an iPad, even if you're using a laptop in the truck and it's an online system, in some cases this still works because you don't have to sit there and type all of that stuff. Now, in some cases it's faster just to do that. But what I see often happens is guys will just sit there and mess with this stuff and get the wording just right, or they got to get right onto the next job, so they half-assed the estimate. The things that they really should have said that were the selling points or the hot buttons are restating, here's what we're going to do different than other companies, or restating back to the client the things that they said they wanted that were important to them. They start to type that stuff. They're like, I'm tired, I'm hot, I just got to get on to the next job. Or maybe they don't like typing because they peck on their keyboard and they're not super fast typers, or they're doing it on an iPad with their thumbs. Sometimes it just makes sense to talk it out and send it over. You can just talk it and it's easier. All of us can talk something out. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then another person in the office that makes less money than you can put that into the system and get it all prepped for you. You can move on to the next job. This really speeds up getting estimates out. Now, I'm not saying you don't do your own estimates, but at times, or all the time, it might make sense to do this. And it's a powerful trick to get more production out in the field. So for example, if you can only knock out 5 estimates a day because of all the prep work, well, could you maybe now do 8 and have somebody at the office writing everything up? And then when you get to the office or at night from your house, you log in, you just review it, everything looks good, you send it. Or they wrote up everything you had at the moment, but there are a few things you had to still think through. Then when you get back to the office or the house, you make those edits based on the stuff you finished thinking through, and then you send that estimate out to the client. So this will save you some time. And everything in the business needs to be thought of from the standpoint of how can I maximize my time? How can I spend my time on the highest value activities, the things I'm best at? So if you're great at selling, spend your time on selling. Don't spend your time on typing. And how can you have somebody that's great on typing and writing and wording things, spend their time on that for you to assist you so that you can be more productive and move faster?